are you today? Let me know if everything's all good and the sound's all fine and the tune. We got a new tune for you. Not because I lost the old one. Not because I lost the old one, definitely. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon. We're afternoon here. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but we're going to go ahead and dive into this. This is your weekly live, not the game show that was promised. There was a promised game show this week. It's not happening. Things are just, busy and crazy. But there will be a hopefully, don't rely on it too much, but there'll hopefully be another game show on the 18th. There will not be a weekly live next week. Next week I am traveling again, dear Lord. Oh no, what's the 18th? Is the 18th Passover? I need to double check. I need to double check what I committed to, because I committed to the 18th. I need to go ahead and take a look at that and see whether that's actually possible or not. But one step at a time. Let's go ahead and dive into this. This is your weekly live Q&A. We can talk about whatever you want. Anything from DC United. Did you see DC United? Did you expect DC United? I expected DC United. Granted, I did know about this one a little bit behind the scenes, but ever since the DC Zombicide, I assumed that we would see a DC United. So yeah, that is what we have. DC United. In case you wanted an excuse to spend more money on a game that you already have too much of and you probably don't play enough as it is, but I will still play. I'll still be getting it because I have no self-control. Kevin, welcome back. How's it going, Kevin? It's always good to see you here. Let's go ahead and dive into this. So, prior, hello all, Board Collect, yo, hello, good morning, good evening. The April's Fool video was fun. Did you lose weight this year? Nick, sadly not. Fun fact, I actually was basically pound for pound. Like, my weight does fluctuate. There's a band. I would say I generally fluctuate between 170 and 180 at any given point. That's my usual weight fluctuation. I wish I can get lower. I have gotten below 170. The lowest I've ever been is like 155-ish, I want to say. But I frequently manage to dip below 170, and then I relax a bit, and then it creeps up because it just things happen and I stop counting, and then I'll drift back up. It happens to be that at the time that the April Fools video went up, that one was, I believe I was 178 last year, and I was 178 exactly when it was happening again. So a year later, and I have neither gained nor lost. I was exactly at the right range. Now, you usually won't see that much of a fluctuation until I drop to like 165 or go up to like 185. I'm usually sitting in that same rough range, but here's hoping that next year I get to lose a little weight. We'll see how that one goes. Past that, we have over here Brian T. Hello, Stacy. Hello. Brian, doubt it, Nick. I mean, look at him. If he turns sideways, he disappear. Brian, you're a prince. I appreciate you. It's not like for me. I have like a nice healthy dose of this that I'd love to get rid of. There are pants that I could fit in if I got rid of that. It'd be nice. There's a few shirts that I have that I could fit in if I got rid of just a drop more. I don't need to lose a lot. I don't need to lose anything. I just need nothing. I'm getting older. Metabolism is only going to get worse. If I'm not on top of this now, it's only going to get worse. We have Brian. What up, everybody? Gamer Addict. Hello, everyone. Brian, new too because Alex lost the old one. Reluctantly, I have to acknowledge that is probably true. Brian Rollins, good morning. All good. Hello. How's it going? Sounding and looking wonderful. Ryan, you're a prince. I appreciate you. All good. 7 p.m. You sit on a throne of lies. Yes, Brian. You're right. I'm assuming that was because I said I didn't lose the old tune, but I definitely lost the old tune. Corthin, I think Passover is more towards the end of the month. I don't know. Alexa, when is Passover 2024?
Passover begins at sundown on Monday, April 22nd, 2024, and ends at sundown.
You are good. You're a good Corthin. I appreciate it. 26th. The 26th. That's good. So I got time. So the 18th, April the 18th. We'll see you then for our weekly live stream. Ryan Gilmore, DC Heroes United. You'll get sued by the soccer team. Is there a DC United? Sucks to be them. Okay, everyone's only going to care about the superheroes now. We got a whole lot of gifted memberships from Kevin. Kevin, once again, you're a prince. Kevin is the hero we need. Kevin has always been the hero we need. Carlos, hello from Sweden. Hello there for a few minutes. Sweden, wow, hello. Hi, Alex, new exercise plan. We get Devin and go disc golfing. Brian, I just went disc golfing for the first time in my life. That just happened. I just went disc golfing. I didn't care for it. Too much movement. I'm joking. I thought it was fine. I don't know if it's something I'd heavily get into, but I certainly had fun throwing a disc a far distance as much as I possibly could. But I thought it was fine. By the way, speaking of which, we do have the old internet back with caveats. It's not hardline like it used to be, but please let me know if there are any downtime glitches, because strictly speaking, this is the first live stream back with the new internet, which was the old internet. But the old internet was hardwired. This is the old internet without being hardwired, so I don't know. Let me know how that goes. Let's see. Hello, 5 minutes. Hello, Sweden. Wow. Give me attic. More coffee, Alex. Weight will drop off like magic. I drink a lot of coffee, but I have creamer in my coffee. The math doesn't work the way you think it does. Also, all my coffees are lattes, which means they're already half milk. More than half milk. They're like 2/3 milk plus a little dash of creamer. I don't think the coffee's making me lose any weight. I really don't think so. Black coffee. Black coffee is negative calories. So is celery. Given a choice, I'd have black coffee. But given a choice, I'll have a latte. Kevin, this is a DC United. They have been around for a while and are a good team. I'll take your word for it, Kevin. My knowledge of sports is not great. I mean, they had isn't DC like the Mighty Ducks? Isn't that what the DC is? I'm joking. I know the Mighty Ducks is a movie, but it might also be a real team. I wouldn't actually know, but I know it's a movie. And then Disney like brought it back as a new TV show. I didn't watch it. Didn't hear anything about it. Didn't hear anything good about it. James, I'm here just watching the big screen. Enjoy the big screen, James. Welcome aboard. Christy Stern, how do you store all your Marvel Zombies on swimming in boxes? Give me a second. Not this one. This is all reasonable stuff. Oh, someone put the wrong box on this one. That's me. That's me. I put the wrong boxes on. So, what's in this box? Let's find out. I think this box just fits. That's the core box. But then, this one over here, this one is what, I don't know if I want to show you this or not. It's a little embarrassing, but that's safe, right? There's no issues there. Although while I'm at it, I probably should switch these boxes because this box has a drop more lid lift than the other one. And so basically that's all my Marvel Zombies are stored in all those boxes. That's what we got over there. This should go back on. This should go on. It's the right one. I know it is. Okay, let's put this back on the shelf. But yeah, that's how I store almost all my stuff. I can't afford to keep all the big box Come On games in general. Decisions have to be made, space has to be compromised, and travel plans have to be given up. Because that's the one downside. You can't travel with boxes like that. It's just not going to happen. Let me put this back over here. There we go. And push it in because it didn't actually... Oh my gosh. This is the problem. So it didn't really settle yet. There we go. And it's sticking out. There we go. Close enough in. Alright, let's catch up and chat. How do you destroy Marvel Zombies? Disc golf is about trying to do better than the last time. I'm terrible, but enjoy seeing if I can get closer to par each time I go. All golf is pretty boring. Yes, I agree with you. As I played a 9 holes of disc golf, and as I played, I definitely was getting better. I also don't know if it's something I cared about getting better at. Like, there's things that I enjoy and appreciate. There are sports, I know, but despite all my jokes about sports, I do like various sports-based activities. It's not the thing I choose to do with my time. I found disc golf to be relatively boring in the realm of sports-based activities. Although I do actually enjoy driving. Not golf, but driving. Not driving a car, but driving at golf. But not full golf, just driving range. Alex, why did you lie when talking about inheritors? It sucked, Sean. I'm sorry. It was terrible. It didn't suck. It was forgettable. It was most games. One of the things I learned early on when doing YouTube is I would say things like that game was the worst when it wasn't the worst. It just was forgettable or it wasn't the best. That's usually what I mean. Inheritors was forgettable. I barely remember it. It was an okay experience. Nidamir, with DC United, I would love to get a nice core box and long wait for next iteration with Harry Potter. Yeah, I do kind of hope they do Harry Potter. Also, my wallet hopes they don't. Sean, you know it's the best card game ever made? Sean, that is not even remotely true. Sydney, Tinkering Paws is your friend when it comes to storing Come On. I don't like the Tinkering Paws inserts, although it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They do a good job. But so far, I've twice now gotten rid of their inserts. I put them in my videos, and I think they're really good inserts. The problem is, I let my kids play with those games. Do you know how much time it takes to put everything back with a Tinkering Paws insert versus just rebagging a bunch of miniatures? I let my kids play with these games. Tinkering Paws inserts are not good for letting your kids play with the games and dealing with cleanup. Ryan, my Black Rose Wars takes up 3 copies now. I have issues. Yeah, some games do that. I think Oathsworn is probably the worst defender I have. There's no great way to consolidate that without really feeling like a bad person. And I don't want to feel like a bad person. Chrissy, love it. Oh man, Michael, hello, welcome aboard. I'm glad that brought you to life. Sydney, Brian T. Etsy has Black Rose Wars storage solution. Very expensive. That makes sense. Kevin, I live outside DC, so I know about the team. I'm not really a football, or as we Americans call it, a soccer fan. Brian, thank you, Sydney Johnson. My favorite storage guy is One Sharp Joe. He has nice stuff. One Sharp Joe does have nice stuff. There's a particular insert from Marvel United that I have and I've been meaning to assemble for like 3 years, which is I'm long overdue in that. Thank you. No, we got Juan. Debating on a good co-op game to back. Would you recommend Dead Keep or Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era or Unsettled for my next co-op game to get? Ideally looking for a co-op game with RPG elements. Likely Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era based on your qualifier. All those three are excellent games, and they all would require me to ask a few questions of the person asking the question to get a better recommendation. Because, like, for my answer for those, probably Unsettled, but it's a hard thing to choose, and it's a lot of nuance. But it really depends on what games you already have in your collection, what games you like the most. Given your qualifier about the RPG elements, I'd say probably Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era is probably your best bet. Aaron, hi Alex, do you back the Skyrise Kickstarter? Yes. Kerf, good morning BoardGameCo. Good morning, Kerf Cut Games and Ideas. How's your day going? Treating you well? Do you have coffee? With cream? Without cream? Just black? What do you do? Just let me know what you do. JBD, will you review Cyberpunk? I already did. I do want to play it more and review it more, but I do find the harsh reality of being a board game content creator is I'm frequently choosing the games I want to play for fun and the games I want to play because I have to cover them, and Cyberpunk doesn't have a pressure or rush to cover it. I will probably cover it again if I play it enough. But also, it's a game that I really enjoyed, but there's so many area control games I really enjoyed, and I don't know if I'm getting them all played, so it's hard to answer, but I don't think I'll be reviewing it anytime soon. My overall thoughts from playing the prototype, when I played the prototype, I haven't played the final game, was I thought some elements of the game were a little messy, but I really liked what I was doing, and how quick it played for the experience it gave is pretty solid. That said, that doesn't mean it's a keeper. I hope it's... We'll see. I have to play more. There's too many games, so I have to make hard choices all the time, unfortunately. I remember a very long time ago, I was watching Tom Vassell doing a Q&A, and I had just fallen down the crowdfunding rabbit hole. And I was not a content creator back then. And I had just played from Awakened Realms. I played, oh my gosh, The Edge Dawnfall. Okay? And I played it, and I really liked it. And I asked him on the Q&A, because I think he had reviewed it and he liked it. And I said, are you backing the new stuff or something like that? I asked him some vague question, or maybe I asked if it was going to be a top 100. That's possible. And he said no. And I remember as a gamer, as just a gamer, not a content creator, I remember watching that and being like, oh, it's outside his top 100. I really hoped he liked it more because, I don't know, I wanted that validation to an extent. And now, being on the other side of that kind of conversation, there's so many games. When you cover games for a living, there's so many games. There are so many incredible games that you just never have the time to play again. And it's not a ding against the game, it's just your own personal preferences combined with the sheer volume out there. I really like Cyberpunk. But also, it's like a 4.5 out of 5 in a genre that I have lots of 5 out of 5s. So one of two things happens next. I either play a few games of it, and it keeps incentivizing me to want to play it more, or I play a few games of it, and I'm like, you know what, I'll stick to Rurik and Inish and DEI, or I don't even bother tabling it because so many other things are pressing on me, and a year from now I give up on the idea that I'll table it, and it moves on. I don't know which one of those things happens, but know that in the moment, I enjoy Cyberpunk, and also, I kind of need to play it more. Frosthaven Play Service books arrived today. They are big versus Jaws of the Lion and beautiful. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm kind of burnt out on Frosthaven, so I don't know when I'll be playing that next. I have one person who's like commenting on my videos like every day, like, bring back co-op in Frosthaven. And I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate that you like the content. I don't know when it comes back. I'm not saying it won't. I just don't know. Harvs, hey Alex, maybe you should try pickleball if you haven't already. I haven't tried pickleball. I don't even know how that plays. I've heard of it, but that's the extent of it. K, any strategic small box games that can be played up to 6 players? Yes, absolutely. So many. Coup is going to be one of them. Other games I don't remember. Citadel is going to be a great one. No Thanks might be playable up to 6. Solid game. The Resistance, great strategic game. There's a lot of small box games that are strategic that can be played up to 6 players. It's a whole long list. This is a good title. Top 10 best small box games that can be played up to 6 players that are strategic. Okay, it's not a great title. But it's a good video idea. The Duke of Fall, have you played a game today? Yes. Earth, that's what it was. Earth. I have to remember. I knew I played a game today. I was like, what have I played today? Earth, and I'm in the middle of the rules for The Adventures of Conan because hopefully I'll be filming a gameplay of that tonight. Sean, Inheritance isn't the best. Next, you're going to tell me Arcana Profiteer isn't awesome. I haven't even heard of Arcana Profiteer, so I can't answer that at all. It might be the best. I haven't played that. Curve Cutting Games. Man, Dead Keep is expensive. Yes, indeed. Cream and sugar or honey. Honey? You do honey in your coffee? I didn't say tea, right? You do honey? Is that a thing? Honey in your coffee? Although Starbucks recently tried to make like that olive oil, like the Starbucks Oela, I don't know what it's called, whatever it was, the oil in your coffee. I tried it. Wasn't my jam. Don't know why I tried it. I think I tried it because I used to do bulletproof coffee. So I have had oil-based coffees. I think I forgot that I don't like bulletproof coffee. So that's on me. Brian T, I want the real Cyberpunk game by Go On Board. Wait patiently, it's coming. Diablo, Alex, what would you consider to be the best deck building worker placement game if such a thing exists? Lost Tunes of Arnak, obviously. Totally the best one. Guy, did you know the new Keymaster game Harvest? How would you compare it to Flamecraft? I have not played Harvest. I have seen it played, so I don't have enough information. Kai, did you know? No. Sean, I don't want you to like Inheritors to validate me. I want you to validate the truth of the universe. Sean, I cannot help you in either of those conversations. In either of those. Inheritors is a forgettable experience, and you are wrong in your taste and opinion about that game. I'm sorry. It's hard to be wrong. I know. I'm wrong all the time, just not today. Today, it's just, it is what it is. I really apologize. I wish I could help, but I can't. Sean, I don't want to... Platypanda, are you planning on observing the eclipse? Yes. Yes, I am. I am in Ohio. I plan on standing outside, looking at the clouds, and being sad I wasted time to go outside and look at the clouds. That's currently the game plan. That's currently it. But I'll be with my kids, so, like, at least I'll be with my kids being sad that we didn't get to see the thing we went to go see. I don't know if this is the best activity planned. But hey, we got sunglasses to see the thing that we probably won't be able to see. Those are options. Ben, hi there. Which city town do you think deserves to have a hit board game built around some historical era event? E.g. Lisboa, Barcelona, numerous Rome games. Hit board game built around some historical era or event. I don't know. I don't know enough. I mean, having something around New York and the Twin Towers, that could be an interesting, that could be an interesting game. It's definitely a historical moment. Like the rebuilding of Freedom Tower, I don't know. Like it's weird. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't have a good answer. Good question, though. Carlos, have you played Heart of Crown? No. If yes, in your review, how does it compare to Dominion? Don't know. Also, with late pledges closing at the end of the month, do you have thoughts on the V2 that'll be coming out? No. Heart of Crown's from, the people, right? I know I'm not giving you a helpful answer. Who's the people who do all the anime stuff? Oh my gosh. They do all the anime things. I'm blanking on their name, but it's from them, right? That's Heart of Crown? I think I know, but I just haven't played it. I know it's compared to Dominion a lot. Japanime Games, that's what it is. Ryan D, have you had a chance to play the Autonoma for Fractal Beyond the Void? No. Haven't unboxed that part yet. Have you run a couple two-player games? Curious how complicated the automatic player gets. Successful? I have to ban you. You cannot call me daddy on YouTube. That is a uncomfortable moment right here. What's it called? For context, for those, I don't want to get into context. I'll get into context. Dear Lord. The context, for those who don't know, is in our Discord, okay, there is a running joke that Successful, who's the mod of our Discord, has made it so that if you tag Daddy in Discord, it tags me. I think it's a very funny joke on a small scale of like a handful of people in Discord. I think I don't want to get into the YouTube space and explain why people are calling me Daddy. It's not a good moment. Anyways, Gamer Attic, any plans for the Mage Knight expansion? If it shows up, perhaps, although I'm still overdue for a regular Mage Knight review. I do need to review Mage Knight, it's been too long. Board and Shield, what's up, man? Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Vikings is the greatest theme ever, but now I'm trying to decide which worker placement game is better, Champions of Midgard or Raiders of the North Sea. For me, Raiders of the North Sea. Neither one is a lasting hit for me, but I prefer the deterministic nature of Raiders of the North Sea over the rolling dice on Champions. That's not a thing that works for me. Dwarfarius, I like your fiery ginger beard. You should grow it out, rate it a bit. I'm open to that conversation. Not like long term, but I'm open to the conversation of rating my beard. I am open to that. SK Guns, Conan by Monolith or Master of the Universe by Kaman? I haven't played Conan, so I'm going to go with Master of the Universe by default, but I am interested in Conan. Stacy, I've been staring at the clock down. I've been staring at the clock screen down forever. Had to refresh for it to go live. Why is that? Stacy, have you been here the entire time on the countdown clock? I am so sorry. It's been a while. Origin Word, are you personally designing any games? No, I have written rules for a few games, but I don't have the interest in seeing through the work it takes to actually playtest and create a game. I'd rather play other people's great games than spend a lot of time playing my mediocre game in order to make it great. But I love the idea of game design. I love coming up with ideas. It might happen at some point, but not right now. Not right now. Brian, hello, successful. Squirt, have you ever painted your miniatures? I used to. When I first, right before I got into YouTube, I started getting into miniature. Well, let me take a step back. When I did Warhammer way back in the day, when I was like 13, I painted. And so I had some background in painting. I used to paint my whole armies. I never played. I just painted and built armies because that's how you play Warhammer. Right before I got into content creation, so mid 2019, late 2019, I got into painting miniatures. And then I got into content creation and I didn't have time for everything I was trying to do. So I stopped. But I still have it all. I still have all my paints in the closet somewhere. Rife with the hope that one day things will calm down and I'll have time to paint. And that will happen. Listen, at some point the kids have to grow up and move out of the house and leave me all alone and playing board games. So there's that aspect of painting miniatures at some point. At some point. Do you have any hobbies outside? Duke of Fall, do you have any hobbies outside of board gaming? I enjoy video games. I enjoy reading, but I wouldn't classify as like full on. Well, I guess it depends on you count it. I have a lot of things that are hobby adjacent, but like for instance, I know how to do magic, like magic tricks and all that stuff. I know how to juggle. What else do I do? I don't know. Those are the two like things that are definitely hobbies I've had, but I don't actively engage with them. Reading and video games are passive, like not, I don't know if I call them hobbies, but they are things that I find entertaining and interesting, and I enjoy to various degrees. I currently got lost down the rabbit hole of Balatro. I've been trying to be as oh, they're successful. Just commented Balatro. I've gotten down the rabbit hole of Balatro. I'm open to streaming a run. Honestly, I am open to stream. Maybe next week we'll stream a run of Balatro. Maybe that'll be the game plan. Honestly, if that's what we're doing, maybe I'll do that next week. I could do that while traveling. Maybe we'll stream Balatro next week. That is something that I might be interested in doing. We'll talk. We'll figure it out. But anyways, I like video games, but I don't know if I have any active, real hobbies outside of board gaming. That's my main hobby, and everything else is kind of secondary and just a backseat. As historical as it was, I think a game with the aftermath of 9/11 will leave a bad taste in many people's mouths as it's still too fresh. Ben, that's definitely a factor. There's also a weird factor, and it's a weird cultural thing, where patriotism in America, and keep in mind I'm Canadian as I say this, patriotism in America used to be considered a good thing. For whatever reason, it is very much a divisive concept. The idea of loving America nowadays is a very divisive concept. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying this as an American. I don't have, and as a Canadian, dear Lord, I'm saying this as a Canadian. I have no horse in this race, but it is complicated. I think it's become a party thing where one party's very like, yay, America, and the other party's like, it's embarrassing to be American. And that's made that the concept of patriotism has now become a divisive conversation to begin with. So it's not even just about the freshness, it's about patriotism being in a weird place right now if you're American. You're allowed to be patriotic in other countries, just not America. That may have sounded snarky. It was intended to be snarky. Board Daddy? No. Dwarfers, Board Daddy is less offensive than Daddy, honestly. I'll take it. It's an upgrade. Stacy, Brian T, I didn't know you play disc golf. I've played for 15 years. I'm not great, but I love it. Jeremy, Devin, and I go disc golfing, doing level up. Yeah, the idea of choosing disc golfing over board games is something that I think I would probably not do. But other than that, I'm open to disc golfing. Real questions need to be asked, Alex. Did you play a Vindication expansion? No, but that's Jenna's fault. I blame Jenna, okay? Because, in fact, let me go ahead and text her right now and say Kulkatan. But, because basically, let's go ahead and do this over here. Jenna, okay. It's your fault that we didn't play Vindication at Adam 2024. Period. Also, Kulkatan. Okay, so I need to type that out because Kulkatan does not come out the way you think it does. Okay, Kulkatan. Okay, Adam 24. There we go. Done. Text sent. Basically, yeah. So we were supposed to play Vindication at Adam 2024. We did not. It's not actually Jenna's fault, but if I blame her, it's not my fault. Stacy, yes I have. Brian, you went disc golfing level up. Zigger, when do you expect your first playthrough of Primal to be released on YouTube? I don't have the answer to that. I'm currently in the middle of the rulebook, hoping to be diving through. I saw Dice Tower streamed it. I will probably be playing it a little bit off camera first to get comfortable with it, and then at some point there'll be playthroughs of Primal on YouTube. Dwarf Furious, what was your Warhammer army? Empire. I had a 1,000-point Empire army with a little steam tank and some other people who I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I remember the steam tank. Oh, I had that rotating cannon. I love the idea of the rotating cannon. You can keep shooting it every round instead of having to take reload turns. There's all these fun things in Warhammer that don't matter unless you play it, and I didn't play it. Thoughts on AR using AI in their promo images? Oh boy. Okay, SK Guna, thoughts on Awakened Realms using AI in their promo images? I think it's short-sighted, meaning to be very clear, I've been very public about the fact that I don't think AI is I don't think AI art is theft. I do think AI art, or AI in general, is a very serious conversation that if we're not careful about it will have ramifications that we might not be able to undo. So I do take AI seriously, I just don't think it's theft. In the case, and that makes it complicated because it means that anyone who chooses to not engage with it while there's not laws around it is effectively giving themselves their own little, they're shooting themselves in the foot because they're not taking advantage of something that is a tool that, it's like being environmentally friendly. It's a good thing to be environmentally friendly in theory. The problem is that while it's not, whatever's not legally mandated ultimately comes down to your own personal opinion and or the public perception, which is where I think that Awakened Realms was short-sighted in its use. I think that while I think it's a complicated issue myself, I think that the larger you are, the more pressure you will get from your community. I think Stronghold Games did it with Terraforming Mars, and Stronghold Games has never really been a public-facing company, so it wasn't really a big deal. It was like, people were like, oh, Stronghold, I hate them, why are they doing it? But Stronghold has never really cared about public perception, seemingly. They don't really interface with the community in that way. Versus Awakened Realms, I think they do try to interface with the community, which means that whether or not, regardless of my own personal opinion of it, or regardless of their personal opinion of it, I think they should have been mindful of the pros and cons of being caught out using it. And so, I think it was short-sighted. That's what it comes down to. I think it was short-sighted of them. I don't have an ethical disagreement with it. I think it was short-sighted. It's successful. Get to play any Star Wars Unlimited yet? Yes, I have played it. I enjoy it. I don't need to go down the rabbit hole. Prior, level up last year. Jeremy tried to get me. Okay, that was disc golf stuff. Successful. Blatcher stream when? Maybe next week, but don't count on it. Prior, Jeremy's amazing. Was at the house playing Crokinole a few weeks back. Yeah, Jeremy is amazing. I love him. All the Jeremys are amazing. Well, not all of them, but the ones I know. Carlos, your honest opinion on backing Incredible Dream $1 entry. I really wanted Campfire Chronicles. That's why I did it. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. If you're asking my opinion of the dollar newsletter thing, I've been very public. I do not like it at all, and I am very against it. If you're asking my opinion on you personally spending $1 to get the benefit, if you know you want the game anyway, the harsh reality is, yeah, go for it. That's the problem. The problem is, there's all these interesting data about the whole thing, about, hey, look, this thing is like, look, it's really effective. People who spend $1 are going to back the game. And like, it's like, well, yes, because they're the ones who, there's a decent chance that they are more interested in your game if they are willing to give the $1. So it's both more effective and it's manipulative and all those things. But ultimately, if you know you want the game, I still encourage doing it unless you want to take a stance against the $1 thing. Unless you want to like drive home a message. Like there are people who will not back a game that uses the $1 tactic. I don't know if I'm in that camp. I haven't yet backed a game that uses the $1 tactic. But I think I'd be less likely to back a game that uses the $1 tactic. But I don't think I'd write it off for sure. But yeah, it's complicated. Stacy, I heard Devin did, don't know who with, would love to join in. Can you show us a painted miniature you have painted that you are proud of? I'm trying to think how much work it is to go to Blood Rage and get it out. I'm not going to right now, but I have. If you want to, realistically, if you scroll to my Instagram, if you go to my Instagram, and you scroll all the way down, some of the first pictures on my Instagram are painted miniatures. But that requires a lot of scrolling, so I understand if you don't do that. But maybe I'll try to grab them before the next stream. I just don't want to... Blood Rage, the way Blood Rage is actually a little annoying to get out. And that's where some of the miniatures are. Does Meg in the Northeast Ohio... Plady Panda, does Meg live in the Northeast Ohio area or does she drive flying from elsewhere? Meg lives around 10 minutes from me. Somewhere like that. She's like fairly close by. Brian, I'll bring my disc next time for the level up that happens during weather that isn't miserable. We'll turn level up into Disc Golf Convention one crazy person at a time. Dwarfurus, Canadian, eh? Board games about a Halifax disaster? That's also a possibility. Pariah, Brian, I should get into myself. I have a course within walking distance. This is like a whole mini disc golf conversation. I'm going to try to ignore those comments because it's throwing off my vibe. Curve Cut Games and Ideas. You're Canadian. Manitoba. I'm Canadian. Toronto. That's where I was born and raised and spent the first 22 years of my life in Toronto. Brian, Pariah, nope, next comment. Julio, any recommendations for a large group games, 10 plus people apart from Resistance or Clock Tower? Feed the Kraken. Do that one, that's a good game. Awesome monikers. Joey Crouch, hello everyone. Hi Joey. Successful Geek, any good board games that bring the feeling of Factorio? Not that I know of, but if you find one, tell me. Dwarfurus, good answer. Manling? Is that me? Am I Manling now? Let's see, we got, okay, Pariah, am I caught up in chat? No, not yet. Pariah, I have gym, cycling, running, nope, we're back on that. Had you been to PAX East before? Was this your first time? Were you prioritizing board games or looking at video games too? So I went to PAX East this year. I went to PAX East last year as well. Last year was my first time. This year was worse, and last year was already not great. And I don't mean that negatively against PAX East. I just mean that I'm there just for the board games. And the board games last year were small. So I only went for 2 days this time instead of the whole weekend. And it was smaller. It was not worth the time going, unfortunately, at least for me. It depends who you're going there for, obviously. For me, PAX East was... I don't anticipate returning to PAX East, at least not anytime soon. Ben, of all the board games you played that are original IPs, so not Star Wars, Marvel, whatever, which ones would you love to see a movie TV series based on? I think an Anachrony movie could be a hit. So, Ben, you're asking, what's going on with this chat here? Am I up to date in chat? No, chat's like messed up. Chat's like, give me a second here. I might have to close this and pop it back out again because I'm not seeing the newest chats, but let me pop this back out. But going to your question, pop out chat. There we go. It's loading. Is it loading? No. No, I have no... Do I have internet? Do I have internet? Here we go. Okay. Internet starting. Sorry, 1 second. The internet on my laptop disappeared for a second. So hopefully the internet on my desktop is good. Let me know if there have been any stuttering issues or something. But as of right now, I don't see your comments. So I'll answer the last question while my comments try to load or something. We'll figure it out. Anyways, to answer your question, what board games would I like to see an original a movie or something based off of? So there's all the Catans in general. The Catans in general are like, they've always talked about making movies out of them, although I don't think that would make for the best movie. I think you have to actually have something with some theme behind it. I think the Cephalofair universe, Gloomhaven and all that. Oh, we do have, I'm behind in chat. There we go. It's all caught up now. I was wondering why it wasn't loading. It's like nothing was loading for a while. Anyway, so I think the Gloomhaven Cephalofair universe could do well. Oathsworn. Oathsworn's the one I want. There we go. Oathsworn's my answer. I want Oathsworn into a movie. Alex, what is the price for the Vindication expansion play? Need to make this a priority. Ooh. So Brian, let's go through this. Are you referring to modules from the base game or a full-on expansion? Okay. If you're referring to a full-on expansion, let me know which one. Let's see, do you want to do Chronicles? Do you want to do Leaders? And, there's a few ways we could approach this, because I know Jenna wants to play it as well, so you could pay for her gas money for Jenna Fridays when she comes in, and we could play Vindication. How about that? Let's do that. Okay, I'll make that happen. I'll make that a priority. You pay for Jenna's gas money, and we'll make that happen, okay? It's a 4-hour drive. It's not a lot of money, is it? I don't know. It's like $60, something? I have no clue. I mean, I know it's a lot, but hey, I'm going to take advantage of this offer. Stacy, Brian, what does weather have to do with disc golf? A one-shot dungeon crawler recommendation that's not Massive Darkness 2. Ooh. A one-shot dungeon crawler. Huh. Deliverance. It's not really a dungeon crawler, but Deliverance. Or, if you want things more dungeon crawler, Machina Arcana. That's my answer. I'm going to go with Machina Arcana. Because Deliverance is more of a skirmish game. In general, why do you think PAX East? What do you think of PAX East? I answered that question. Well, I answered a different version of the question. Brian, I will play in 40-degree weather. Okay, we're back on disc golf. Jenna. Okay, did you respond to my text? What the heck? Are you talking to me over the stream? Yeah, I am. I am definitely talking to you over stream. Okay. Boarding Garden Jenna's here. Hey Alex, do you know Jenna's doing cool things like creating characters in board games? How come you're slacking so much? So I do know Jenna's creating characters in board games. Right before this video, I filmed my week in review. You'll see it's the same shirt when you watch that. And I did call out that Jenna is creating a character for Mythwind. So Jenna's going to be working with Daryl Andrews to create one character, and Nikki Haley, who's done Manchester Madness and other games, Dragon something, whatever, is doing another character. So there's going to be 2 characters coming for Mythwind, not this current expansion, but the next one. So why am I slacking? Because I'm trying to read the rules for the Vindication expansion, obviously. Carlos, are there any games where deluxified components are unequivocally 100% worth it over the regular versions? I mean, I do really like Castle of Burgundy. That's my instinctive answer, but I'm sure there's other answers too. SK Guna, if you could only keep one Zombicide, which would it be? It's hard. It's between Marvel Zombies and Black Plague. I think Black Plague, but I'm not confident in that answer. It's hard. Hello friends, Jenna's here. Pariah, hello. I was texted and I was blamed. I'm here to throw fists. Successful, the Boarding Garden. I think Vindication didn't get played because he's still on Catan, so it's your fault. That's fair. Brian, I hear it's your fault Vindication didn't get played because you don't like it. Oh, we're fighting now. Stacy, I'm just getting into painting miniatures, starting with Expedition mechs because they're so big. Oh, those Expedition mechs are so cool. I have the metal ones. I'm not painting them at all. Rose, have you played the South Tigers trilogy? And if you have, which one's your favorite? I've only played... As actually, speaking of games to blame Jenna for, I was supposed to play Inventions, although it's not really Jenna's fault. I decided not to start Inventions at 12 o'clock at night, so I didn't want to do that. I have only played Wayfarers so far. I want to play the rest, and I really enjoy Wayfarers, but it's obviously my favorite, but I have to play the rest. Borgen Garden, pff, I was 100% down for Vindication. It's completely your fault, Jenna. Absolutely. Dwarf Furious in Warhammer, the dwarves refer to humans as manlings. So yes, your Empire army marks you as a manling unless you prefer Board Daddy. I'll take manling, thank you very much. I don't know. I don't know which one I'll take. Stacy, make a disc golf channel on Discord. Successful, that's up to you. By all means, go ahead and do so. The Duke of Fall, what's your favorite board game that you regularly play with your kids? Are there any good enough games to make your top 100? Oh, good question. So Trio right now, Trio is currently my favorite game that I play with my kids. And are there any good enough games to make my top 100 from games that I play with my kids? I'd have to go through the full collection. Instinctively, no. Instinctively, my top 100 are going to be games that I prefer playing myself, even though I enjoy lots of games with the kiddos. Pariah, I can drop a Vindication this week if you want. Successful, you don't have internet. I think, but did you have internet? That's the question. Like, was there a blip in stream? That's the thing I want to know. Professor Meg, I think you should change it to the board game Grandpappy. That's the worst one yet. I don't know if it's the worst one yet. I prefer Board Daddy. I don't know if I prefer. It's like a weird game. Okay, we have Board Daddy and Manling at the top. We have Daddy, and then we have Board Game Grandpappy. I'm okay with the first two. I'm like loosely okay with. The bottom two, not so much. Julio, I'm curious about your favorite games based on mechanisms like worker placements, bag building. I mean, ask me a mechanism, I'll tell you my favorite game with that mechanism. Diablo, the Factorio question, please be patient. Wait, Diablo, are you working on a Factorio game? Is that what's happening here? Tell me more. Gen Cam plays board games. Hello, hello. Curve Cut. Tirana, I used to teach at Ontario College of Art and Design. Nice. Professor Meg. Hello, Meg. Wait, where's Meg? Oh, Meg asked the board game Crappy. That's what it was. I have Vindication, Ryan. Thank you, though. Pariah, the Board Game Garden. But do you have all the expansions in Big Box? No, Pariah, but I do. And if the sponsorship is driving down Jenna with her gas money, I'll take care of the board game part. Successful, I want to see Vindication Villages and Hamlets played. Successful, it depends on who's doing the sponsoring. They get to choose the expansion. Successful, hi Meg. Hey Steve, have you had a chance to see God of War from Come On? What do you need? What do I need to be prepping for cost-wise and ideas when the campaign will start? So, rule number 1, when it comes to anything on GameFound, I will never answer, well at least not intentionally, I will never intentionally give away things that I know behind the scenes. Rule number 2, I will usually act like I don't know those things just in case. Random fact number 3, I don't know anything about God of War past what you already see on the campaign. It's a 1 to 2 player dungeon crawler. I'm interested. Also, sometimes I'll answer that, sometimes I won't. But in this case, I happen to not know anything. But it's a weird game. Like I try to go with what's publicly out there. Dwarf Furious, are you a character on any board games? Yes, Dwarf Furious, I am a character on a board game. I have a full miniature, but I'm not telling you which game it is. I specifically, whenever I am put into board games, my one requirement is that I have to, whether it's art, a miniature, whatever it is, my one requirement is it has to be subtle. I'm not interested in being very obviously a character in a game because I don't want to ruin somebody else's immersion. I don't mind if I'm in there and you don't even realize it's me. Like if you're on your third player of a game, you're like, huh, I wonder if that's Alex. That's okay with me. But if you realize it right away, that ruins immersion, and I don't like when characters, even when I like people in the board game space, I don't want that immersion being ruined. So I am in some pieces of art, and I'm in some, I think I'm only 1 miniature so far. But I'm not telling you which game. You can figure it out. The hunt for which game it is. You can try to figure it out if you don't already know. The information's out there. It is a game that is in people's hands already, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Board Game Garden. No, sadly I do not, Ryan, but Alex does. Yeah, I have all that. Stacy, Alex, I couldn't bear to watch your video on games where the art got worse. Yeah. Successful. Have you tried the new Learn to Play for Robinson Crusoe yet? No, I'm behind on everything. I'm still catching up on everything, but I'm behind on everything too. Pariah, the Board Game Garden, I can lend it to you if you want. I have the same as Alex. Hey Steve, I got the new Robinson Crusoe. I think all the tokens work better. Reagan's React. DC Heroes United. Which hero and villain are you most excited for? Batman, because my son loves Batman. And I haven't thought about the villains at all. Successful. Disc golf falls into sports ball. The Board Game Garden. Thanks, Brian. You don't need to do that. Jennifer Fridays will happen for sure. Successful. SK Guna. Acrylic or wooden components for luxification. I prefer acrylic generally. There are exceptions. Board Game Garden. Board Daddy. Jenna, so you missed it. You missed it. Successful. You missed it, Jenna. But yeah, Successful popped into chat and called me Daddy. And then I had to explain the whole Discord thing. So that face is appropriate, but it's not my fault. It's Successful's fault. Brian D, didn't Alex have some sort of card game on the 2022 Top 100 that Devin did a double take on? Was that a kid's game? Did I put Tiny Turbo Cars in the Top 100? That's possible, but I don't think so. I don't think it would be now. It might have been there briefly, but I think it fell out pretty quickly. I think. I could be wrong. Julio, deal. Favorite worker placement, go. Favorite worker placement game, go. Lost Winds of Arnak. Curve Cut Games and Ideas. Daddy with caveats. Not sure report. I don't love any of this. This conversation is getting worse and worse. This conversation works when it's a private joke in a Discord where I get tagged as daddy and everyone's fine with it. It doesn't work when I say daddy 7,000 times on stream. It is problematic. No idea how politicians say this, but let's just say I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a prototype. That is exactly how politicians say it. Actually, that's not true. The way a politician would say it is, no, it doesn't exist, and they'd be lying to your face. Ryan, hello, Gen Cam Plays Board Games. Hello. Nick, will there be a Q&A with the friends you play? Will there ever be a Q&A with the friends you play a lot with, or some sort of Q&A where you read their answer that they have given ahead of time? I don't think I've ever thought to pull my friends into Q&As. So there's different people on the channel. There's friends who are content creators, and then there's friends who aren't content creators. And even the second category are friends who are not content creators who are okay being on camera, and friends who are not content creators who are not okay being on camera. The ones who are not okay being on camera, obviously you haven't seen on camera. The ones who are okay being on camera are people like Max and AP, and you've seen them in multiple videos because they're happy to play a game on camera. They just want to play a game and they don't mind being on camera. And they've been in multiple videos and they will continue to be in multiple videos. And I've never thought to ask them to join a Q&A because that's not why they're here. But I'm okay asking them questions. If you have questions for them, I'll pass on the questions and read them off next time. Logic, what are your go-to board game accessories? Dice tower, component trays, etc. that you use the most? Sleeves. I do like component trays too. But sleeves. Successful. I like Jeremy and Hero Realms. I do not like Jeremy and Hero Realms. Again, it's very rare. Honestly, one of the only obvious content creator implementations in a board game that I think I was on board with is Sam Healy as a pirate in Rum and Bones. I think I liked that one. Like, actively liked it. Almost all the rest that I can think of, even when I like the content creator, I don't like them in the board game. Ben, do you think that would be a niche board game that achieves wide popular success like what Baldur's Gate did with CRPGs? I mean, arguably Gloomhaven? Wingspan? Like, what are the categories here? Because Wingspan is like has achieved relative success. Codenames has achieved relative success. What are you defining? Because I mean, Codenames is designed by Vlaada Chvátil and has sold millions and millions of copies. It's massively successful. Carlos, do you have ratings on your 5-point scale for Avalon and Quest? I believe Avalon and Quest are both at a 4 out of 5. I'd have to double check, but instinctively that's where they'd be. Hey Steve, Alex, are you still doing solo live streams? I think a Welcome to game would make a good solo game night. The Tuesday night live streams. I'm sorry. For all of those who are watching the Tuesday night live streams, I have traveled so much this month, it's obnoxious. I hope the Tuesday night live streams come back. I do. Whether doing a game with Meg, we're still in the middle of My Island, or whether doing solo. But I don't know when. It's been overwhelming. I am barely keeping up with everything I'm trying to do, and I'm happy. Everything's great, but I'm just barely keeping up with everything I'm trying to do. So apologies for the Tuesday night live streams. I hope they come back. Maybe not Tuesday night. Maybe that'd be better. Maybe Saturday night. That could be fun. I could see that being fun. Maybe I'll just do video games. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Duke of Fall, any video games you wish you would get made into a board game or vice versa? I always say I wish BioShock were made into a real board game, not the one that was put out last time, but like a good one. I want Awaken Realms to do BioShock as a dungeon crawler. I think that could be so good. Successful. I'm just here to make it weird. It's working. Gen Cam, also congrats, Board Game Garden, way to go, successful, and somehow I still have a wrench. You do still have a wrench. I don't know why. Dwarf Furious, is it a game that was on Kickstarter Game Found? I could easily see you as a guy in Ruins of Arnak, the way you go on about it. Oh, other fun fact. So one thing I will say, so I'm not answering that question. There's a miniature, I'm a miniature in a game. You can do the rest of the homework yourself. But one game that is actually hilarious, that I think Jenna actually called this out on stream, in the Viticulture, I want to say the expansion, in Viticulture Tuscany, there's a character who I look just like. And that came out before I was doing content creation. I don't think it's me, but it looks just like me. That one I'll tell you about because I don't think it's me at all. I don't think it's supposed to be me, but it's definitely me. Morgan Garden, thanks so much, Jen. Confirmed Tiny Turbo Cars 99. Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I'm glad it dropped off. I like Tiny Turbo Cars, make no mistake, but I don't think it should stay there. Thoughts on OG Tio Turbocon? I should play it. Cars. Born and Shield. For 2 players, which do you prefer, Marrakesh or Darwin's Journey? Marrakesh, because I have played Marrakesh for 2 players. I haven't played Darwin's Journey at all. Dwarf Furious. I need Rum Bones because it has the Skull Kick characters. Yeah, Rum Bones is good. Board Game Garden. Jenna in Wild Gardens. Jenna, you're in Wild Gardens? Are you really? Fun. Go you. Jason, Alex, can you rank your favorite dungeon crawler board games? What are your top 3 to 5? So much work. It had space. I don't know. Cthulhu Lets Me Die. That's my number 1, obviously. Best one. Oh, that's the single shot. Whoever, Ryan, whenever I said that stupid, what's it called? Machina Arcana game, obviously Cthulhu Lets Me Die is the best single shot dungeon crawler. There you go. Machina Arcana is amazing, by the way. Don't take it the wrong way. So let's go with Cthulhu Lets Me Die, Oathsworn, That counts as a dungeon crawler? Or is that a boss battler? I count as a dungeon crawler. It's also a boss battler. Tenaris Adventure is probably up there. Machina Arcana is probably up there. And I'm trying to avoid, I mean, Zombicide would be up there. I'm just trying to avoid saying more than, like, I mean, Spawn already has plenty in there. I don't know. I mean, Master Darkness and Zombicide should be in there. Board Game Garden, both puppies are in there too. Platypanda, is there anything new under the sun with the worker placement mechanism? Or do you think we've reached the zenith? No, we've never reached the zenith of anything. It's just not how it works. As time goes on, innovation becomes less common. But innovation never goes away. We're constantly innovating and adjusting and coming up with new things. So I don't think anything's gone away at all. We'll see more stuff. Just give it time. Thoughts on Awkward Guest 2? Haven't played it. Board Game Garden, do a solo. Let's do Welcome 2. No one needs to own the game because the app is free for the score pad. Just need to manage the card turning. Ooh, that could be fun. Tell me about that. I'll join. We used to. Meg and I used to do some Welcome 2 streams with our community. It's been a while. SK Guna, thoughts on the long way to come in a Blood and Sand expansion? It's coming. That's all the thoughts I have. I mean, I don't have any more thoughts about it. Board Game Garden, would love to do that. Ben, I meant to ask if you ever see lots of people playing something like a full-on war game or an 18xx. Oh, no. No, I don't think so. Not that kind of level of success. An 18xx game hitting massive popularity, I do not imagine. I could be wrong. Jen Cam plays games. Are you planning on watching the eclipse on Monday with your kids? Yes, I am. Logic. Alex, I just had my first child 7 weeks ago. Will I ever sleep again or game? No, unfortunately not. It's a little known thing. There's a warning label included, unfortunately, but you are done. It's over. Realistically, the first year is the hardest. As the kids get older or as you have more kids, things will get easier, but you will never not have other responsibilities. The good news is you'll also eventually have a game group. Adina Lini, love your videos, especially your back and Octobacks. Thank you, I appreciate it. Successful Geek, the Board Game Garden. I'm excited to teach my wife for Northwood as we go on mini vacation this week with focus on analog relaxation. Enjoy. Also, by the way, as usual, we are approaching the 2 o'clock mark. I will be wrapping up roughly on time-ish. We'll see how it goes. I used to go over on the live streams. I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Board Game Garden, yes. What was that yes to? What was that yes to? I feel there's an extra yes in there. Oh, that was Board Game Garden. No, that was the successful one. Got it. Ben, any thoughts on the less Luxified food chain magnet, whether to back it or not? I haven't heavily gone over the differences, so I don't want to give you an answer offhand. I remember looking at it when it was on there, but I don't heavily remember all the differences. Ryan T, Alex in Vindication, I have the cards. I am indeed in Vindication. I've been public about that one because I sold the cards. Speaking of which, if anyone wants the Vindication promos, one, it will probably take longer than I'm comfortable with to ship. I'm sorry for that. I apologize in advance. I have shipped out all the ones that were purchased. It's just, I took like 3-4 weeks to do it. But if you want Vindication promos, you can mail me money and get, or PayPal me money and get Vindication promos that I'm on. I have a whole stack of them. I should sell them somewhere properly at some point. Hey Steve, my name is in for Northwood. Oh, fun. If you were ever to make your own board game, what would the genre be? Probably drafting, but that's more of a mechanic than a genre. Area control is tempting for sure, but I can see optimization as well. Like a nice Euro drafting game could be fun. Maybe I'll get back to it. I should freaking make a game. Board Game Garden. What? You haven't played Darwin's Journey? Jenna Fridays. Jenna freaking Fridays. Jenna, here's how it works, okay? So we already know there's a bunch of stuff. You're going to have Luthier. I'm going to have Luthier. There's like 7 other games we talked about. I don't remember what they are. We're going to consolidate our homework assignments in general, okay? So we have our homework assignments. But then also, you'll come to the table with 2 or 3 games. Like, I'll go over games you've played that I know I want to play, and you'll have to come to the table with 2 or 3 of those that you'll teach. And you could ask me for 2 or 3 games that you want taught. And then, of course, because Brian's sponsoring the trip, we'll play Vindication and the expansion. This is a solid plan. Which Friday works for you? Let's see. So, Jenna, just to let you a heads up over here, we could do the 19th. The 19th? Friday the 19th? I think that works, actually. I'll take a look, but that might actually work. So, Friday the 19th, that's the first Jenna Friday. Sounds like a plan. We'll see you then. Okay, cool. Now that we've done that, taken care of. Duke of Fall, do you have a favorite movie? I used to say, there are 2 movies I used to say were my favorite movies. I don't know if they still are. I'd have to think about it. But the 2 I used to say the most were Gladiator and and Remember the Titans. Okay? Remember the Titans and Gladiator. They're still both incredible movies. I don't know if they'd still hold up as my favorites. Hey Steve, what was your favorite April Fool's promo this year? I absolutely actually said this in my weekend review that will be going up soon, but I 100% want Dragon Shuffle, as that was called. Is a Forest Shuffle and a Dragon Shuffle? That the one that was a play on Forest. I think it's called Forest Shuffle, right? So Dragon Shuffle, 100%. 100% I want that. Any thoughts? No, wait, where am I? Brian, Oath 1 is a boss battler. There's no dungeon to explore. I acknowledge your words. I do. I acknowledge that, but I don't know. I think of it. Fine, whatever, fine. I'll give it to you. I still picked 5. I actually picked 6, so that Oath 1 was just extra at that point. Adi Nalini, any thoughts on Super Boss Monster? I don't love boss monsters, so I'm the wrong person to ask. Nick Binekers, is there a public Discord for BGC? I was in the one with the duck that didn't work out. Is there a link in the Patreon? I only see the link to the duck server from the past in 2020. There should be 2 links in the Patreon email you get. If you are a Patreon or a Ko-Fi member, oh, darn it. I don't think I send out emails to Ko-Fi members. Oh, that's not good. I think I only send out emails to Patreon members. I need to fix that. Because Ko-Fi is like the place I'm trying to push more. There should be an invite in the Patreon email to both Discords. But yes, there is a public BGC Discord. But I need to fix that Ko-Fi part. Let's see. What is your favorite 4X game? Probably Clash of Cultures. Last Light is very good. That's a lot of points for how fast it is. Reagan's React. Any advice on how to convince wife, family that we should get DC Heroes United even though we have 3 seasons of Marvel United? It depends on your relationship. It depends on how comfortable they are with things. Ask nicely and hope for the best. Borgen Garden. Enjoy, Adam. That's wonderful. That was a yes for you in viticulture. Oh, that's what it was. It was me. I thought you were responding to a comment. That makes sense. Jen Cam plays board games. I love 4 Northwood, but I gave it to my friend whose mom is going through cancer treatment and is bedridden. I still need to buy another copy. Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm sorry to hear. I'm very sorry to hear. But yeah, I gifted a few copies of 4 Northwood and then had to wait a while to get it back, but now I have it back. Dwarf Furious. I've always thought the idea of a Dwarf Fortress board game could be impossible, but hilarious to attempt. I agree with you. Congratulations. We always say kids take away all your freedoms and give it back to you bit by bit. When they are proud, when they are around 7 to 11, they get very usable as people to play board games with. That's true. Ryan, Alex, BoardGameCo promos would be a good swag bag gift at level up. I could see that being relevant. Yep, absolutely. Successful Geek, Dwarf Fierce, that'd be amazing. Where's your coffee, Alex? My coffee is currently 1:52. My coffee is at usually when I wake up in the morning and then around 4 p.m. So this is not coffee time. In general, my unboxings are usually around 4 p.m. for that reason. Successful, Dwarf Fierce would be amazing. Where's your coffee? Federation, Darwin's Journey, Sad Curry. Wait, Darwin's Journey is you teaching me. Federation is you teaching me. Sankori is me teaching you. What's another one you want to learn? What's another game? Oh, you want some more Stefan Feld games. Oh, Hamburg. Let's do Hamburg. Okay, great. So I will do Hamburg and Sankori because you want more Stefan Feld games. And you could do, although alternatively, we could loop in Travis for the Stefan Feld stuff. That's another option instead. That's interesting. We should talk about these things. Jen Gam, Stacy, Evado, hello. Federation is so freaking good. I want to play Federation. I have it. I want to play it. Professor Meg, I love that Alex is scheduling at my house. It could be here. It could be here. I'm fine. It doesn't have to be at your house. If you want to be included, it could be at your house. Successful Geek, I need to try Darwin's Journey. Isn't that on BGA? I don't know. Boarding Garden, let me check my schedule. But that is a holiday weekend, so I approve. What's the holiday? What's the holiday of the 19th? I don't actually know what's going on. Federation is freaking bomb. I want to play it. Ben, Medieval Fantasy versus Futuristic Space Fantasy. Which is your preferred setting for a board game? Medieval Fantasy, generally. But I'm fine with either. Boarding Garden, I know, right, Meg? I can always drive. It's only 4 to 5 hours. Pariah, Jen, Stacy, Jen. Hey, Steve, does Star Wars Journey have a solo? I could look it up, but Matt, this seems easier to ask. That's fair. I'm on board with that. I keep thinking of buying Federation, but I don't have a group for it. Successful. Play it on BGA. It's available on BGA. I do want to play it badly. I want to play it a lot. Logic. Thanks. Luckily, I have a Thursday game group that I resumed last week, but I definitely attended as a zombie. Looking forward to the next stages and trying to enjoy the present. Kids are a lot. I think that I remember the first time I had a kid, the very first time, I didn't sleep that night. Like, the baby woke up crying all the time, and I was like, oh, wow, you really don't sleep. And it took time, but then eventually, she's now 12, and she doesn't cry through the night anymore. So that's good. That's progress. Ryan, you can join our Discord. It's basically just Beck, Ballon, Craig Games, and I talking. We can use others to annoy. The Duke of Fall, what would you say to would-be designers who hope to make a game you enjoy? Don't do it for the money. Do it because you love the hobby, and if you happen to make money, that's a bonus, because if you're doing it for the money, it's not a good career choice. Board Game Buzz. Hey, Alex, what's the next con you'll be attending? That's a good question. I was looking at Geekway to the West, and I'm still looking at it. I just haven't made a decision. So, Geekway to the West is a possibility, but if not that, I think Dice Tower East is the one I'm going to next. I believe Dice Tower East is the main game plan, with Geekway to the West as a possibility. Then Origins as well, which I think is actually, I think Origins is before Dice Tower East. So, technically, it'd be Geekway to the West in May. Origins in June, but again, Geekway is a question mark. Origins is very likely. Dice Tower East in July, which is very likely. Gen Con, well, Dice Tower East is for sure, I think. And Gen Con in August. So that's like a nice, like one a month for the next few weeks. That's not terrible. Let's see. Duke of Fall, Board Game Buzz, Carly. Hello, Carly. Yes, indeed. I'm trying to convince myself not to get any DC Heroes United because I have 3 Sins of Marvel United. Good luck with that journey. Board Game Buzz. Hello, Jenna. Dwarfurious. I would be amazing. It would be need to be shipped on a pallet. What would be need to be shipped on a pallet? Federation? I'm confused. Or Factorio. Or Dwarf Forever. Forbidden. Oh, it's the dwarf thing. Whatever it is. Ryan T. Hello, Board Game Buzz. Board Game Garden. Marrakesh. Oh, that's fair. You did want to play Marrakesh. Yeah, I'd happily play Marrakesh. I'd happily. AP likes all those games. So yeah, we can put those all on the radar. Mark Ramos, if you could design your own board game, what kind of board game would it be? This was asked earlier, but drafting and likely area control. That's likely what I'd go with. Board Game Garden, it is not, but Federation is. I don't know what you're answering, but possibly me. Dwarfurious, if your kids approached you and asked to play Monopoly with you, what would you do? Play Monopoly. What kind of question is that? Play Monopoly? That's... I specifically bought my daughter My Little Pony Monopoly because she liked My Little Pony. She's 12 now. When she was younger, she liked My Little Pony and she wanted to play Monopoly because her friends had Monopoly. So I got her My Little Pony Monopoly because I'm not a terrible person. That's the short version. If your kids want to play Monopoly with you, here's a big thing to remember. Even if you think there are better board games, your kids' friends don't know there are better board games. Do you really want your kid to be the kid who doesn't know how to play Monopoly because you're like, Monopoly's not a good game, she shouldn't play Monopoly? That seems like a terrible parenting approach. My kids do not ask to play Monopoly, happens to be, but I absolutely, because they've seen better games, because I introduced them to it. But I didn't say no to Monopoly. Now, if it was Inheritors, on the other hand, successful. Next week in the evening, I'm happy to teach Federation on BGA. Next week will probably not work for me. Next week's going to be very busy. Board Game Buzz. Hey, Brian. Hello. Also, someone in Russian saying Clash of Cultures. I don't speak Russian, so I can't help you. I'm sorry. Gen Cam plays board games. Wish I could do Origins again this year. Might see about working a booth. Successful. I was going to skip DTE, but if you're coming, I might have to change my plans. Successful is the other way around. You're supposed to say, I was going to go to Dice Tower East, but if you're coming, I might have to change my plans. That's what you're supposed to say. But that goes back to our old back and forth. Nick Binekers, good night. Well, actually, it's 2:02, so I should probably wrap this up anyway. Dwarfurious, a Dwarf Fortress board game. It would need to be shipped on a large pallet because 10,000 cards and 3,000 miniatures are heavy, also expensive. Reagan's React. I know, but the thought of Batman, Iron Man, Superman, and Wolverine facing off against Galactus is too cool to pass up on. Enjoy that. Harvest K, just how big was that shipment of box of Primal? Mine should be coming soon. I'm debating whether it should rent or forklift. It was like this box and then times 2. It was 2 large boxes. 2 very large boxes. Board Game Garden, Federation of BJA, Darwin's Journey isn't. Gotcha. Mountain Cray Games, the Monopoly voice by Alex was awesome. Need more. I don't know if I can do it again. I didn't plan it. I think I just did. I can't. It was like a little munchkin-y. It was like, I don't know, I'm not gonna play Monopoly with you. There are better games for Monopoly. I don't think it's a fun game at all. You should play better games, like Acquire in Indonesia. Those are much better games for a 4-year-old. Anyways, we're gonna go and wrap this up. I think we're gonna wrap this up right now. It is past the 2 o'clock, and I want to get another video, but I have a 3 o'clock call, so I need to get another video done before 3 o'clock. If I'm really lucky, maybe I'll get 2 done. I have to be really lucky. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate you being here on this weekly live. I will potentially see you next week. See you later, Board Daddy. I hate you. I'll potentially see you next week with a Balatro stream. Maybe. But also don't count on it. But maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We could have fun. We're here to have fun. That's what we're here to do. So until next time, I'm Alex Rad from BoardGameCo. And as always, hope you have a good one.